Hello to all my friends and family, and welcome to Jim's 5am Club. And as you can see, I'm just in the elevator going to the top of the International Passenger Terminal, and we'll crank out another Jim's 5am Club. And it's another overcast summer's day here in Sydney. As you can see, the cloud is quite thick, quite dark, and it looks like rain heading our way over here. But I guess this summer is going to be characterised by cloud and rain. Last summer was smoke and fire. So as you can see, things just change from year to year, and it's all a part of the variety that we call Sydney, and we've learned to appreciate and love. Anyway, let's do a book summary this morning. Now that I'm on my break from work, I've got half an hour, so I'll try and crank out a 15-minute book summary to make the most of this time that I've got available. And the book that we're going to go through today is entitled 0 to 1. 0 to 1, and the author is Peter Thiel. Peter Thiel is the author of this book, 0 to 1. Anyway, I've got a bit of breeze coming through, so I'll try and protect myself from the elements. So Peter Thiel, for those who are not aware, and I wasn't aware but I learned today, is the founder of PayPal, and he's an investor in Facebook and a billionaire. And he kicks off the book by asking a very valid question: how will the world look in 2200? And he says, well, look, we absolutely don't know. It's impossible to know, because the world dramatically changes every day. And in 180 years' time, 179 years' time, who knows what the world will look like. But he says the biggest leaps in progress occur vertically. So he outlines and he helps us understand that there are two types of progress. There's a horizontal progress, which is step-by-step incremental. But he says that the massive game changers are vertical leaps, and hence the title of his book, 0 to 1, which infers a vertical leap. And he alludes and he suggests that day-to-day progress is horizontal, and it's one to many, so 1 to the power of n. So it's just an incremental, step-by-step growth, and of course incremental change over a long period of time has a massive and a lasting impact. But he says that a vertical progress, a 0 to 1, is where you actually create a new technology, and you bring something into the world which significantly changes and alters the landscape and fosters other industries and creates an industry, and basically allows the world to experience and express itself through a different sphere and through a different time zone, and it changes the horizon. And examples of this are organisations like Microsoft, like Apple. For example, the Apple iPhone, the smartphone, has changed the way we use technology and phones altogether. Now, I just couldn't live without my iPhone, and there's no way in the world that I could survive, I guess, given that I know what I know and how I can use it. It is just a one-stop shop which allows me to fully express myself and to be connected and in contact with all the things that I love and respect and appreciate in life. So the author talks about, to go from 0 to 1, you need to critically question the assumptions held about the present. You can't go from 0 to 1. You can't just have an exponential step up without challenging the present. But here is the problem, and here is the big challenge, according to the author. that most people find it very hard to question assumptions and to make the leap up, because we all are infected to a certain extent by the many biases which distort, complicate the present and the future. So in order to grow and to go from 0 to 1, you basically need to change the paradigm, the way you see the world, the way you see yourself, and the way you think about what is possible and what we're all capable of doing. And then he goes on to talk about something else which is really interesting and really powerful. And I've had this sort of thought in my own life, but not too many people have the courage to express it. But he says the buddy, at the end of the day, he just expresses and says the obvious, that monopolies and large corporations are not bad. Because for one company to be doing something so good that no other company can survive, in itself suggests that what they're doing is a game changer and so important that it's that it makes it a dramatic change and adds tremendous value. Because we all have a choice. Now just think about yourself for a moment. When it comes to the internet and using a search engine, you automatically use Google because it's the best, even though there are many other search engines available. Over the years there have been heaps and heaps of search engines, but why would you bother with the rest when you can simply go to the one service that is the best? And the reason why the best is that they've invested. They've figured out what the users need, and they deliver it time in and time out. So the author then goes on to another point in his book where he talks about that everything starts with a vision. And you don't become an overnight success overnight, regardless of what people think. He said that PayPal, for example, the organisation that he founded, took years of effort, investment, risk to become a leader in its field, as most leaders do. You don't become the very best and the greatest in your field without putting in a huge investment and other people supporting you along the way as well. And the author also reminds us, and it's a small call to action as well, that you need to be a little weird in order to have vision and break free of the groupthink gravity. Let me say that again because it's a powerful concept. You need to be a little weird in order to have vision and break free of groupthink gravity. Now, too many people, you see it day in, day out, are absolutely shit scared of being different, of thinking different, and of suggesting anything which is outside the norm. But the author, Peter Thiel, tells us that at the end of the day, unless you want to break free from groupthink, then you're not going to be all that different, you're not going to be all that special, and you're not going to be able to express yourself and be the best version of who you can be. Yes, it's important to conform, but once you've conformed and you've reached a certain level of capability and competence and have a network who respect you for what you know and what you can do, then you're able to break free and to fully be who you're meant to be, as opposed to being just a shell, just a slither, an enamel version of yourself. You need to be more than just a thin varnish. You need to be the full material self, and to dig deep and to show your breadth and depth. And to do that, you need to basically have a crack and have a go, and try and make the greatest impact and the greatest difference that you can do, based on the skills that you have and your capabilities. Because to get to the top, according to this wonderful author and this person who has actually achieved greatness in his life, to get to the top and to go from 0 to 1, and you need to have a completely different mindset, a radical mindset, a mindset which doesn't get subdued and overwhelmed with groupthink. You need to be a person who is able to change the paradigm, to break through of the biases which distort, complicate both your present and your future. So there you go, a wonderful book summary by Peter Thiel entitled 0 to 1. Anyway, it's starting to rain now and I need to head back to my work. So let's finish off with the positive affirmation. I'm alive, I am well, and I feel absolutely great on this moist, wet Sydney summer day. To my friends and family, stay connected, stay relevant, stay reasonable, and most importantly, let's try and be the best versions we can of ourselves and take some lessons here from Peter Thiel's book and take some big leaps of faith. Be willing to, yes, on the one hand, have incremental growth, because we need both incremental growth to keep us going in a direction, going and growing. But every now and then we need to just break free, and to fully express ourselves without hesitation, without limitation, to try and create significant value and to make the most of the unique skills that we have available to us. Because as the author reminds us, everything starts with a vision, and that vision needs to be coupled with hard work, investment, and for you to take a risk, to back yourself, to take a risk and back yourself in order to reach your potential and achieve the dreams that you've set for yourself. Because each and every one of us have a birthright to be the best we possibly can. Our parents, our families want us to be the greatest version that we can be, to grow, develop, and become the greatest ancestor for the people who come after us in our future or in their future. So let's finish up and say goodbye for today, and thank you for joining me on this special edition of Jim's 5 AM Club. And I'll head back to work. Hopefully I won't get too drenched, but let's make the most of this day. As we've said time and time again, this day is unique, it's special, it'll never come back. So let's make this the best day ever. It's in our hands, it's in our capabilities, and it's up to us to grab it by the horns and enjoy it for all it has to offer. Bye for now. Yasas. Bilakia from Jim's 5 AM Club. Bye. Sorry.